Playing the mysterious man, what can you share about him?
I love your enthusiasm. What can I say? Okay, so our show is using, the Book of Revelation as a background, and for me, it's really a background because it's more about human choices, and it's more about our perspective of good and wrong and right and wrong and good and evil and stuff like that. So what I like most about my character is the fact that he is probably the only one that doesn't have a superpower. He doesn't have like an extraordinary ability. That's why they don't call him the devil. They call him the man. Because he's only allowed to use human resources, ways to manipulate situations and people in a human way, in a plausible, human, earthly way. Okay, so he can't just hypnotize you or take you to do something that you don't want. It's ultimately a choice, and that's what I like about not only my character but the show. The fact that people say that he's the devil, it's the fact that he's definitely not the good guy. And if we're using the Book of Revelation, he must be the devil.
Hey, Alan thought he was an alien, so maybe there's food for thought there.
Well, Alan Craig, as you might know, he's an alien itself.
So he thinks you're kindred spirit, then.
He was trying to get some company.
He's so fascinated with that.
He was trying to get some company.
Hey, he came from the skies. He could not necessarily be wrong about that.
What?
Your character came from the skies. He could be right.
Yeah, I mean, he's right about that. But
he created this massive crater.
But what I can say about that impact that I actually didn't say before is that it's not random. It's not like, oh, what a cool way to introduce a character. It is, but there's a reason behind that. Okay, so that fact and that event is going to be explored down the line, like big time.
Well, there is some theories posited here at the table that you might be a Terminator coming for the future.
Yeah.
We've seen that visual come in several times.
With a red eye?
I mean, there's no power.
Without red eyes?
So alien, Terminator, you could be all kinds of things.
That's why the man. He's the man. He can be anything.
Would you consider him to represent the worst of humanity?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
Okay.
He represents the darkest and more sinister part of the human condition.
Because he's only allowed to use humanity.
Exactly. So through him, we're going to see the dark side of the human beings.
Okay.
Not only the way that he manipulates the situation, but the consequences of that in our characters. And look, we're talking about they're all our heroes, okay? And we will see that our heroes will not act accordingly as heroes as we imagine sometimes. Does that make them bad? No. Because in this show, there's no good and evil, or wrong or right. There are only circumstances. And we are the product of our own circumstances. And sometimes, you can go to church every Sunday, and then something happens to one of your family, one of your loved ones, and suddenly you question a lot. And not only you question a lot, you can be a potential killer. If you're in the right circumstance, if you're in the right situation, you can act out of impulse. You can do something like that. Will that make you a bad person? Probably not. But if we are what we do, maybe it does. Even like all of the biblical stuff that are coming out, movies, like Son of God, the Bible that I've done, or Noah or Exodus. They're all amazing stories. That's what it is. I mean, they're timeless. They're like, that's the reason that we know them. It's because they last for 2,000 years or even more than that. So it's because they're powerful stories, and not only they're good stories, they mean a lot to a lot of people, and they inspire people. And sometimes, if they don't inspire, they raise questions, and questions brings conversation, and conversation brings to uplifting resolution sometimes. So I think, obviously, and if we see that there's a lot of Avengers and stuff really exciting to watch, there's a lack of also more than just entertaining. And why not these stories? I'm pretty sure that we're gonna after this we're gonna live a period of I don't know 2, 3, 4, probably 5 years without them with variations of this, more contemporary variations of this type of lessons, you know. But I think it's just it's a phase. But I think it's a great phase. Because any story that could bring questions of morality, of our own condition and our mission, what we're doing with our own lives, is just compelling, and it's like, and it's good to raise them up. What it's great about the man is the fact that a lot of questions are being raised when he comes up, you know, and then the answers and the reasons behind what it does are gonna come throughout the show. Not only that it's you know, sometimes it's gonna act in a way that you didn't see it coming. Like, why is he acting this way? Why is he talking this way? Why is he connecting with this character more than any other characters? That will tell you more about who he is than actually his plan. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
So the character this is going to be related to will tell more about himself than his plans. Sometimes his plan is related to someone else. And from what I heard, it's only going to get bigger and more complicated. Because, like I said, I really dig the fact that they're using him as a mirror of human condition, you know, and they're going to explore that to the maximum. You know, so let's say that for now, he doesn't feel as a human being, because he's not a human being. Down the line, he might feel as a human being. His condition can change, and that's a huge arc right there. You know what I mean?